I wish you guys could feel my heart right now and the way it's beating. The game just got over with. I literally can feel it. Like I can't talk. I'm sorry. I mean, if you're a Broncos fan, definitely give me some slack right now because this game was insane. And I've got to say something. I'm about to 33-30. It felt like at first the Broncos were going to run away with this game. They had a 13-point lead, and then they blew it. And then of course they get the ball. Bo Nix throws it to Marvin Mims. I don't know how he held on to it, but the Broncos take the lead. But it's only 3 points, and then Josh Allen gets them downfield. That Kincaid almost scored. That would have ended the game, obviously. But then, of course, we saw Prater make a 50-yarder to tie. It goes to OT. As soon as the Bills won the toss, I was like, here we go. They like to defer. And then the Broncos get the ball. They have to punt, but it goes inside of the 9. And I'm like, okay, here we go. This is where the Broncos, they show up and they finish off this game. And they actually did because McMillan ended up coming away with an interception. And what a play. I mean, that's the biggest play of his career. And he's had a pick six. So this is a guy who has made big plays in his career, but none bigger than this one. That one, we're going to think about that for a long time. And then the Broncos get the ball. They start to finally kind of push the ball down the field, take those shots, and they start to get some penalties, and that's all it wrote. We saw, of course, Tre'Davious White get called, and the Broncos, they just immediately went for the field goal, and Will Lutz knocked it through. I started covering the Broncos, I would say, around the Russell Wilson era, and obviously, it wasn't great. And then they bring in Bo Nix out of Oregon, also played at Auburn. And the last season, it felt like the Broncos were kind of just happy to be in the playoffs. But this time around, they're like, no, we're going to go win a Super Bowl. And the offense, it stalled out some drives, there's no question. The defense also gave up some touchdowns. But the offense had some awesome drives, and the defense took away the ball 4 times. So that's just kind of how Denver has been, is the defense will get them to the end of the game, and then Bo Nix will finish it off. And Bo Nix, I'm just so proud of Bo Nix, man, because I have a Discord server. By the way, guys, please join the Discord server. I need more Broncos fans in there because there's like everyone in there isn't a Broncos fan. They're always just crapping on Bo Nix and saying that he's not that guy. And they were very quiet because Bo played incredible. Like Bo Nix was, he honestly played better than Josh Allen. Like he definitely played better than Josh Allen. Bo Nix 279 yards to Josh Allen's 283. Yeah, Bo threw the ball more, but 3 touchdowns, 1 interception for Bo. Josh Allen, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So Bo Nix threw the ball better than Josh Allen. The Broncos also didn't have a run game. Bo Nix was the Broncos' run game. 70 yards total for the Broncos. 29 of them were from Bo. And he had some big-time scrambles to get first downs on third down. Like, Bo Nix, he's him, man. Bo Nix is him. And I'm looking at James Cook, 117 yards, did have a fumble. If Cook didn't have that fumble, the Broncos probably lose this game, if I'm being honest with you. Like, if you take away 1 turnover from the Bills that they committed, I mean, they win this game. So the Broncos, of course, they've got to be better. But also, Josh Allen did have some turnovers. I mean, he actually had 3 turnovers because he had a fumble that resulted in 3 points. As bad as Josh Allen was in that regard, he's still, there's no one remaining for the Broncos that's Josh Allen. C.J. Stroud, Drake May is very good. He's not Josh Allen. And then Matthew Stafford's incredible. Matthew Stafford doesn't have the mobility of a Josh Allen. So I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Obviously, it's going to get more difficult the more the Broncos continue to play. But I'm saying that this was probably like the toughest task in the sense of dealing with a mobile quarterback that can throw the ball 70 yards just flat-footed. So credit to Denver. You could tell that as the game went on, the Broncos had an advantage. And it showed. I mean, the Bills were gassed. Like, had this game been in Orchard Park, I think the Broncos would not have won. I think we can kind of all agree. Like, they probably would have lost by double digits. So, and the fans were phenomenal. If you were at this game, shout out to you, man, because you guys showed up every single snap, man, every single down. And it's so crazy that this is happening, man. Imagine playing on the actual team. I mean, I'm in a loss of words and thoughts, and I'm not even on the roster. Marvin Mims had that touchdown catch. Cortland Sutton did have a drop in overtime, but he also had first down on the first play, and he had some big catch late in the game. R.J. Harvey, as a receiver, was awesome. Harvey, I think he had a couple he didn't lose a fumble, but he had a couple. One of them actually wasn't his fault. It was on the transfer. It was on Bo Nix. The other one ended up being negated because of an offsides. I think it was, I don't remember his name, Najobu or something. I don't remember. But working off that left side. Jordan Humphrey had a touchdown, which was beautiful throw, beautiful catch. It also have a drop that would have went for a touchdown. Pat Bryant left with a concussion. Hopefully he's good to go next week because Pat Bryant was cooking. He had 3 catches immediately to start the game. Frank Crum is a legend. He had a 7-yard touchdown catch. I don't know if that's his first touchdown, but It was cool to see just the play action bootleg to the right, and then he was block and release and score on that one. Evan Ingram just 7 yards and 1 catch. The tight ends were quiet, but man, I mean, they spread it out. Like, I like to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Broncos went over 32 yards receiving. None of them went over 100. And it was actually like a pretty similar game. Josh Allen and Bo Nix, basically like the yardage for their receivers were identical, honestly. And then just like the amount of guys that caught a pass. So this was basically like an even game, but the Bills had, I think, 5 turnovers. So they had Josh Allen threw 2 picks. There was a couple of, how many fumbles were lost in this game? I can't remember exactly, but I feel like, yeah, there was, Josh Allen lost 2 fumbles actually. And then James Cook lost a fumble, and then he threw 2 picks. Yeah, absolutely, there was 5 turnovers in this game, and that was why the Broncos were able to win this one. And the offense, it had, I mean, you look at the first quarter, only 3 points. The third quarter, only 3 points. And then overtime, obviously, you'll take 3 points because it won the game. But 17 in the second and 7 in the fourth. So those quarters, what happened, honestly, and I'm making this right after the game. It's always hard to do that. Obviously, tomorrow, when I'm more prepared and I had seen the film, it will be better. But the Broncos, they started to motion guys across the field. And that gives away, of course, what coverage the defense is in. And I'm not a football guru. I'm just a YouTuber. I played high school football as a corner, but that was about it. I was second string. Don't tell my crush or anything. I'm kidding. But they motion, of course, to the left, motion to the right. Their coverage, and it moves the defense, and it creates just advantages for the offense. And the Broncos, they have speed. Marvin Mims, right? Cortland Sutton isn't a speedy receiver, but you get him in motion, all of a sudden you have the defense kind of confused because they're so worried about Sutton. And Sean Payton, he had a couple of play calls that were phenomenal, like that one where he got the running back to the left, and he knew that, of course, the defender had to move, of course, all the way across to the sideline, and then Bo Nix lofted it up. That was a beautiful one, the one to Crum. I mean, Sean Payton was awesome in this game, and I think this game will only make the Broncos better, and not just because, of Josh Allen, but just because, the Bills' secondary, number 1 in football, they also had Ed Oliver back, who's one of the best interior linemen in the game, man. I mean, he is just an absolute beast. You got to deal with Dalton Kincaid, and I thought Joe Brady called a good game overall for the Bills. Like, Joe Brady was probably almost perfect. It's just that lateral was insane. But the Bills just kind of shot themselves in the foot. And for Denver, I mean, they scored over 30. They gave up 30, which is super rare. I mean, how many times this season have the Broncos gave up 30 points, guys? I mean, the Commanders, did they give up 30 in that? I don't know. My bad about that, guys. So the Giants scored 32. And the Jags scored 34, and then the Bills scored 30. So just 3 times this season, a team has scored 30 plus. That is incredible, absolutely incredible. And I cannot wait to just watch the film and just, oh my God, man, I'm fired up, man. Let's go.